Roll along. That's what we've been doing, haven't we? That's what we've been doing for a lot of years. I don't claim much for my part, but gosh, when you think of all our American efforts together, I've gone and talked till it's time for the Hoosier to come in. I've got to go now. Say, how about you taking a ride up and down the Mona? See for yourself how she's still helping her part of America to roll along. I can't go with you, but the boys on the train will take good care of you.
Up and down the Mona, everything is fine, 'cause that rootin' tootin' Mona, she's a Hoosier line.
All up and down the line, you can see how the railroad has helped to create American prosperity. Farms producing great quantities of never be fully marketed without modern mass transportation. Factories which assemble their raw materials from a lot of far-flung points and send their finished products everywhere. Towns and cities in which people have grown used to buying things which are brought from all over the world. Our way of life, which is literally a product of railroads at work. Take these factories which make prefabricated houses. Their lumber comes from as far away as the Deep South and the Pacific Northwest. Their steel begins as iron ore from the Minnesota range, ore which is converted in some of the world's largest mills located in northern Indiana. Countless other items have to be shipped in from hundreds of different places in order that one complete house can roll off the assembly line.
Roll on, America, till the very yellow.
All up and down the railroads of America, this miracle is repeated and repeated. Railroads are not the only transportation used, of course, but because of their tremendous capacity, their unfailing reliability, and their basic economy, they are the backbone of American industry and American agriculture. Railroads like the Monon help out the territories they serve in other ways, too. These great steel highways not only link the communities together, thus helping to create wealth, they distribute much of their income in the communities they serve. Every time a train like this, the railroad will spend $10.02 on the labor and materials to operate the train, maintain the tracks, pay taxes, and other costs. Each mile represents an investment of nearly $100,000 and costs nearly $6,000 per year to maintain. This length of steel rail costs the railroad over $70 when laid. Each one of these new ties will cost more than $4 when placed in the track. Even the lowly spike carries a price tag of nearly 5 cents. The Monon has to haul a ton of freight 3 miles in order to earn 5 cents. Work like this creates big payrolls which are spent in cities along the line. Taxes take a large part of it, too. Taxes consume more than half of the revenue which is left after other expenses have been paid. Every mile of track which this train traverses pays an average annual tax to the county, state, and federal governments of $2,163. Taxes paid by the railroads go to maintain the public schools and to provide other essential services in the community. In many counties, more than half of all the local taxes are paid by the railroads. And on a national basis, the railroads pay out 4 times as much in taxes as they do in dividends to their stockholders. No other form of transportation makes any such contribution to the area it serves. This Indiana, which the Monon has helped to build, is quite a place. It's a place that's fabled in story and in song.
Many are the wonders that are lovely to behold. Oh, nature does her handiwork right well. lakes and rills and temple hills, this land of ours enfolds. But in one spot my fondest memories dwell. There's a little bit of paradise that all the world should know.
It's the shades of India,
where the sweetest flowers grow and the softest breezes blow, and there's magic as the seasons come and go. There's a little bit of paradise I long again to roam.
it's the shades of India.
How I long to sneak down Sugar Creek like barefoot boy with tan on cheek,
And find again my Indian
and find again my Indiana home. There's a little bit of paradise that all the world should know.
It's the shades of India.
Where the sweetest flowers grow and the softest breezes blow, and there's magic as the seasons come and go.
Spring Mill, the dunes. They're all part of the great picture which the good Lord painted in Indiana, and which Hoosiers have tried to preserve and throw open for the enjoyment of everybody. Take a look at the towns and cities in Indiana, too. They're alert, progressive, forward-moving, full of good, sound enterprise. And they're homey and friendly, Hoosier towns, with all that folksy term implies. Even the big industrialized places like Indianapolis, the capital, are Hoosier right down to the roots. All of its factories, its varied business enterprises, haven't robbed Indianapolis of that friendly atmosphere which prompted a famous Hoosier poet to call the city high heaven's sole and only understudy. Monument Circle, which is the city's most distinguishing landmark, typifies this survival of the neighborly spirit which is so apparent throughout the Hoosier state. Indianapolis, too, is the scene of one of the world's great annual sports events, the 500-mile Memorial Day race. Each year since 1909, America's most daring drivers have piloted their mechanical steeds around this great proving ground for the automotive industry, and in these grueling contests have tested nearly all of the new developments in automobile engineering. For years, the Monon has helped to bring in the countless thousands who descended on Indianapolis for this event, transported them in an atmosphere of real Hoosier hospitality on its famous Chicago-Indianapolis train, the Hoosier.
Hoosier time, Hoosier time. We run this railroad right on Hoosier time, Hoosier time, Hoosier time. There never ever was a better time, Hoosier time, where every golden moment is a time for joy and laughter. Hoosier time, it's the best of all.
Hoosier towns, American towns, towns where industry and thrift and independent initiative are admired and rewarded. Good towns in which to locate factories. The whole state of Indiana has an enviable record of friendly relations between management and labor and government. State and local taxes are extremely favorable to business. Transportation facilities and power resources are unexcelled. That Hoosier air is healthy for business.
Hoosier time, we run this railroad right on Hoosier time, Hoosier time.
The present management of the Monon has been extremely progressive in its efforts to provide its online communities with the finest in transportation service and equipment. The Monon was the first Class 1 railroad to become completely dieselized. Centralized servicing facilities with every modern device for maintaining equipment and expediting repairs ensure dependable schedules. Diesel power in all switching operations means smooth handling of cars, minimum breakage or damage to shipments. Along the railroad, vast improvements have been made. Miles of new track have been laid. Lines have been shortened and straightened. Bridges have been strengthened. Some have been completely rebuilt. Signal systems are being continually improved. New interlockers installed to increase speed of train movement.
Oh, up and down the Monon, everything is fine, 'cause that route is built.
All points on the Monon are now connected by dependable overnight freight service. To expedite interline movements, schedules are arranged so that they integrate efficiently with the schedules of connecting lines. This is especially important when it is recalled how many major railroads intersect the Monon and how strategically located the railroad is as a bridge line between its great terminals of Chicago, Indianapolis, and Louisville. Although Monon's trackage is primarily in Indiana and it is known as the Hoosier Line, the railroad is intimately connected with the commercial and industrial life of its great terminal cities in Kentucky and in Illinois. Louisville, the Falls City, key spot in the early winning of the West, hub of a great business area. You've been in Louisville at Derby time, no doubt, or you're planning to go sometime. Come see Louisville, see the Derby, and all the other great attractions this city has to offer.
Say some sensation, what a thrill. If ever you had fun, you will in Louisville.
The folks all head for Louisville.
The ladies with the latest frill. The gentlemen dressed fit to kill for Louisville.
Come along, come along, come along, come along, it's great to see.
To see that field coming on, coming on, coming on, say, holy gee, it's Derby Day in Louisville. Say some sensation, what a thrill. If ever you had fun, you will in Louisville.
Come along, come along, come along, it's great to see.
See that field coming on, coming on, coming on, say, holy gee, it's Derby Day in Louisville. Say some sensation, what a thrill. If ever you had fun, you will in Louisville.
Yes, Louisville's a Monon town. And Chicago, railroad center of the nation, the Monon's northern terminus. Chicago, brief history as the story of civilization goes, but world capital of many things.
There's a rainbow, Chicago, all our hopes are riding high. There's a rainbow over Chicago, there's a great tomorrow written in the sky. There's a dream come true for Chicago, and that dream will never die. There's a blue sky showing, blue light glowing, there's a rainbow in the sky. A rainbow new light flowing. See a rainbow in the sky.
Chicago, Indianapolis, Louisville. The Monon links together these three great cities, a host of fine communities in between. Monon intersects important east-west arteries in its part of the land and serves as a great railway bridge between Lake Michigan and the Ohio River. The Monon is proud of its place on the railroad map, proud that it has helped the heart of America to grow and to prosper, proud that it has kept pace, proud that it's the Hoosier line, because it's Hoosier soil the Monon is in, the Hoosier Commonwealth it has helped to build.
Have a nice trip up and down. All of us on the railroad hope you did. We hope you like this Monon country as much as we do. We hoped you saw how the Monon means something to you, whether you live in Indiana or some faraway part of the country. We think that the Monon means something to you. We think it means better handling of your transportation problems, better travel when you come into or go through Indiana, faster service for your shipments through this crossroads of America. One thing we're sure you will agree with us on. This America of ours is the greatest place on earth. And the one thing above all else that makes it is the fact that so many individuals had a hand in building it up. That secret in a nutshell. Individual initiative. That's why every one of us can be so proud of his own corner of America. That's why I'm so proud of the Monon and of Indiana. That's why those boys down at Purdue, when they sing,
There's something about the air in Indiana. Wanna shout, wanna dance, wanna sing. There's something about a sycamore, the honeysuckle by the door. There's about that Indiana.
Sun and moon and stars, Indiana.
Howdy, partners. For your safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train, and be sure to watch your kids. If any of you folks are wearing hats or glasses, best remove them, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Oh man, that always gets me. Welcome aboard, everybody. We're here. Okay, good. We can hear both sides. Awesome. All righty, guys. How's it going, everybody? I hope you all are having a good time. I don't think the world is about to have such a good time. This seems to happen every couple of years or so, and it's kind of one of the major reasons why we can't seem to figure out how to fix this country, because how do we put this? Our priorities don't seem to be our country, let alone our own people. It's just what it seems to be. Now, I know we discussed this the last stream, and I apologize if the streams are starting to seem a little bit black-pilling, but I promise you by the end of this, they're not. Okay? Because by the end of this, you need to have a personal plan. And it's just, again, the same sort of thing that we've been saying. Forget the federal government, forget whatever's going on, but just have to focus on building up our area, while everything else just starts to fall apart. It looks like it's accelerating really rapidly, that everything's going to be falling apart. Hello, Adam Busser. Hello, A2R Gaming. Hello, Dave Mitchell, Minor Tree, Star Force, Adam Everywhere, Dump Trucker. I hope you guys are doing well. All righty. So, a little bit of a monologue here before we get started, and apologies because I've been trying to get things set up over here and things are kind of silly. So let me see if I can try to get this up and going. So this sort of stemmed from a discussion last week, and we stayed a little bit afterwards, and then I had another discussion with one of my best friends talking about what's the whole point of building these sorts of grand infrastructure projects if they're not going to be maintained correctly, run correctly, and even forget even built correctly. Okay, because let's just say, and if I can get this running, okay, so I can try to give you guys a little bit of a. And this will be funny because it only took 5 seconds to make this on Grok, right? So you know how Grok is. But let's just say magically, right? Let's just put everything in perspective over here. Let's just say magically. Oh, and it disappeared. Okay. Let's just say overnight in the United States of America, tonight, let's just say tonight, everybody goes to sleep. Okay? Because the debt is not going to fix it, and because nobody else in this country is going to fix it. We get it. But let's just say magical gnomes just appeared out of nowhere and just started fixing everything from the bottom up, to the sewage systems, to the electrical grid, to the roads, to even building a whole bunch of high-speed rail, right? You get it. These little magical creatures just come out of nowhere and just start building world-class infrastructure all across the United States from sea to shining sea. And everything infrastructurally is solved. Okay? Perfect buildings, perfect sewage systems, perfect electrical grid, internet, everything. Even nuclear. Nuclear, as we love nuclear over here. It's
The N-word. You know what the N-word is? It's no. It's the nuclear word. He mentioned the N-word yesterday, the nuclear word.
the nuclear word, right? So let's just say these magical gnomes just built everything. Real quick, how long do you think that will all last realistically in this country as it stands right now? With the current population we have in the United States right now, with our current leaders right now, as everything stands, how long will this last in our country? Okay? And I guarantee you right now, it's not going to be that long. It's not going to be that long because as we saw last week, what's the whole point of building all this sort of stuff if you can hold on, let me just see if I can bring it back up again. Oh, let's just put this here, okay? If this is going to happen,
Don't take orders from the Hiltons, do we? No! That's right. We don't take orders from the LAPD, right?
and this, right? How long is it going to last? How long? How long will our infrastructure last? If people can go ahead and just smash it to bits, how long? Let's be real clear about that, okay? Because last week we saw Waymos on fire, right? Not that I care too much about the Waymos, all right? The poor little Waymos, like that's not at all an actual way to fix infrastructure. It's a temporary way and just a tech pro version of, oh, this will be a way to solve infrastructure and everything else. And no. It's so silly. It's so stupid. But we know that, right? We know this about driverless cars. Okay, for those of you who are still, you welcome aboard to the American Rail Club, where we're talking about the real stuff here now. Okay, because I know everybody loves to talk about, this and that, and everybody just loves to put on. Hold on, let me see. If I can just bring this up here. Everybody just loves to talk about our beautiful, walkable cities that we used to have before. But let's be real. These beautiful, walkable cities that we used to have before were from a different people. And unfortunately, America as it stands today is not that same people. As we saw before, and we'll go into this, and again, this is the sort of stuff that's been talked about ad nauseum for at least 10 years. It's just now, if we're going to talk about infrastructure and actually building infrastructure, we also have to talk about the moral infrastructure of our country as well. Okay, a lot of people are sick, both mentally and physically. We have the highest obesity rates, the highest mental illness rates. Everybody is sick. Now, there are people who are working out, and those of you who are taking your own personal time to go ahead and do that and take care of yourself, more than anything else on this channel, okay, is start taking care of yourself, start taking care of your family. That is the best possible thing you can do right now. Okay, pay down your debt, or at least pay the minimum amount, because the federal government is certainly not paying their debt, as we can see right now. This is here we go. This is never going to get fixed. Okay, we are not fixing this unless it magically disappears. Okay, and even if these guys came out and snapped it away, just snap it all away, right? It just disappears. Let me see if I can bring let me see. We'll do this here. There you go. Disappears. I don't have like a magical thing here on my pixie dust or whatever. This is just, yeah. Look, guys. This is some real stuff that we gotta talk about as well. And of course, this is not the whole thing that we're gonna make about this stream, because you know what? We gotta enjoy life too, right? Life is short. And life is really tough for some people. Some really sad news today, guys. So Hans and Leia have passed away in the last month. Two little dogs that I had with Holly. Leia got struck by a car, which another reason why most people shouldn't be having automobiles. And it just that was when she was killed by a car. And then Hans is 17 years old. Once his buddy passes on, he's not going to be good. So after she passed away, or she died, let's not say passed away, she got killed. Okay, killed by a car. Okay, Hans was rapidly declining, and a 17-year-old dachshund. I mean, look, he's lived a very good life. So F's in the chat for Hans and Leia. You know, it's terrible, but you know, it's how life is. And you know what? Even with all that, you know, I'm still very blessed with everything. You know, everything that I've had in my life, in one shape or form or another, has been taken away in some sense or another. But God, and I truly believe this, God has given back in some way or another, either sevenfold or something else. Okay, and for everything that has happened to me in the last several years, you know, job loss, layoff, death of a spouse, you know, death of close ones, losing a home, all that sort of stuff. It's come back in some way or another, right? Because you can look behind me and everything right now. It's if there's any sort of advice I can give you, it's just keep going. Just keep taking a step forward some way or another. Yeah, things are pretty bad right now. I can't say that they're good. They're not. Okay, and this country has been in a very dire situation. LA, by the way, is not going to be good. So speaking of Los Angeles, 2025 has not been kind for Los Angeles. So for those of you who are not familiar with with allies who needs enemies. But the certain they that shall not be named, certain ally has a option called, and I've known about this for years. I don't care to talk about it on this channel, because honestly, there's other channels that talk about it in more detail and everything else. But basically, if they go, they're going to bring the rest of the world down with them or so. But here we are: global deterrence attacks, Samson options, main destinations. This is more or less translated. Look, this is public information, more or less. This has been well known for like decades or so. But yeah, the United States, Washington D.C., New York, and Los Angeles. So if by any chance Iran wants to be very silly, our fantastic friends will also through a sub launch. Blow up DC, New York, and Los Angeles. So 2025 for Los Angeles is it's not looking good. I mean, hell, well, look, hey, at least the good thing about it, look, at least LA will be able to build back better. I guess, right? They'll be able to build back. Look on the bright side of it. I mean, it's just oh man, it's not looking too good out there. But yeah, we're not unfortunately, we're not getting the mass deportations that we've needed. It's you guys getting Battlefield 3 IRL, maybe. I don't know, because this sort of thing has happened a couple times the last couple of years. Who knows at this point? But they're really pushing it. By the way, don't go. Don't go. I don't know if that has to be said, but don't go. No, don't go. Very, very simple. But anyway, we wish to. Let me see if I can find. Hold on. Let's see if I can find this. Just to. This is what this is what I say for both sides of those. Here we go. There we are. Good rock. Good rock. Good rock, everybody. There we are. Yeah. Yeah, appreciate it, guys. It's yeah, this is a anyway. But yeah, this is it's not a good sign of what's going on, particularly in this country. But look, hey, it's just what it is. But some funny stuff out of LA, and we've talked about this before. Here, where's the I don't know if we can still call it paddy wagon anymore, but because that's technically against the Irish, or is that allowed now? I don't know. I mean, I'm married to someone who's half Irish, so can am I? Do I have the Irish pass? Do I have the Irish pass? I don't know, but there you go. Yay! It's something. I don't know. The whole main and the reason why we're here. Okay, and forget about yeah. I know I'm wearing the silly hat of the ketamine monster. We know that was going to happen. This is still a funny hat. I don't care. I like this hat regardless of whether he made it or not. I don't care. It's mine. I like it. And the message still shows. We need to have a dark gothic MAGA moment, but an actual real MAGA, not a MEGA moment. It's got to be MAGA. But it's just look. Let me see. Where are the Waymos? I want to see the burning Waymos just for the fun of it. Hold on. Come on, burning Waymos. Just for the effect. Just for the effect. Okay, and then I'm gonna stop talking. Okay. There we are. Okay. So even if these magical little creatures were to come out and fix everything within a fortnight, right? Fortnite. Kids love Fortnite, right? There you go. This will be the result the next couple days. There you are. So what should our country be? What should our country be? Well, the last weekend I went up to Milwaukee to go ahead and visit the grave of my grandmother and grandfather-in-law, the Sweetchecks. And funny enough, my mother-in-law found this magazine that happened to have her name. So this is I was trying to find the Milwaukee Road archive footage that I had before, because that would have been perfect to have before on this channel. But I mean, just looking through this magazine, this is from 1952, guys. It's a completely different time, July 1952. So we're talking about 70 years ago, almost 78 years ago, more or less. I'm fried tonight, guys. So if my math is off, it's probably why. But anyway, but yeah, look at this. Modernization defined, talking about how they're modernizing the railroad, push button yards. Look at everybody's dressed nice and everything. Let me see if I can move this over here. And now OBS disappeared. Come back, OBS. Come back. There we go. Come on. There we are. Move. Alrighty, there we are. Yeah, let's look at this. Yeah, Waymos do not solve transportation problems. Darius having issues with PC up. Yeah. What's the point? We can't have modern infrastructure. Look, we might as well go. We might as well go back to push button yards. At least that's not run by Windows, right? That's because every single time that's going to happen. Yeah, look. What's the point if these that's another thing. Even if the magical creatures go ahead and build it, the magical gnomes come out and build it, our best friends may just blow it up, right? That's a problem. That's a major problem. And again, this is real talk. If we have to look at what our moral structure of this country is going to be, just coming to build infrastructure. Okay, because we have major issues just even building it right now. Once we do build it, I mean, even this is all perfectly built, okay? And I guarantee you right now, what's being built right now in America, it's not good. It's not good. Let me just, okay, I know I'm going back and forth here, guys, but look, there's a reason. There's a reason why. So I know we mentioned new construction.
Here's a new home in the rain. Nice finish work here at the trim. Brick missing. Patio post. Almost square.
That'd be $500,000, man.
Above the garage. That light is
$500,000, I say.
didn't seal it at the wall.
Master
And then here
craftsmanship.
we've got really-
We just need more of those master craftsmen, right? Just gotta have them. Just gotta have them. Yeah, we just need them.
Quality lumber right above the garage. I'll probably fill that wood with caulking and paint it, call it good. Nice cuts around the flashing.
Oh man!
At the roof, there's shingle damage.
Already, it's
There's
not even
water
finished
draining
building,
across the
and
shingles
it's
that
already
wall.
leaking all over the place.
Prematurely wear the shingles. We got nails backing out here. Baseboard joint almost lined up.
Where
There's
is?
the guest shower insert.
There we are. It's already, look at it. It's already falling apart. There you go. That's what's building our country right now. And by the way, I know we like to dunk on the people from south of the border. I get it. Look, in all honesty, it's not. I don't really put the blame on them. I really don't. Most of the blame comes to these sick SOBs that keep bringing them in, that are engaging in human trafficking and destroying our market, bringing down wages, and making sure that people like us and people like you don't get employed.
To move.
Here you go.
Construction of our home is in jeopardy because the labor situation is completely unknown.
Andy Adamant is supposed to move into his new home in July. He likes the guys working on it. He doesn't know what the immigration statuses are, but they were not there when he checked on the house Tuesday.
There you go. There you go. You lived in a managed mediocre Margaritaville. That's what this country has become, a managed mediocre Margaritaville. And really, this is really comes down, honestly, kind of the main point. How do we build infrastructure? Like I said before, the infrastructure in this country is way overcapped with as many people as it can go. You really want to build infrastructure, or there's no way we can build it currently right now, okay? Because these silly billies over in California, there you are. Here, let's go, and then I'll go back to the Milwaukee Road, and then we'll start talking because I want to see the hockey. I want to see the Panthers. I want to see the Panthers win over the Oilers. Take away everything that Canada has, and that is their last. It will be absolutely the tears. The tears will be absolutely delicious. The Schadenfreude that I will personally enjoy as Canada loses. Absolutely, they've already lost their country, which is funny. I mean, it's sad for Canadian, and for those of you who are Canadian and who are suffering through that. My absolute condolences. It's terrible. It really is what's going on in Canada. Absolutely terrible. But maybe just losing your last sort of thing. And I know that everybody on both sides, all the players are basically Canadian anyway. I get it, but it's still funny that a Floridian franchise beats a Canadian franchise at their own game. But anyway. Yeah, building infrastructure just takes forever. Look at this. $92 million to basically make this. Again, I'm sorry. Why does it take to 2026? And they've probably been building this for years. There you go. California's going to take forever to build this, by the way. So maybe we'll see it in 2077. Cue the Dutch building again. There we go. In one weekend. There you go. Yeah, it's managed mediocrity. It's not that these people can't do it. It's not that. Well, then again, they'll destroy it. Let's see. Where is it? Where did it go? It disappeared. Hold on. I know I have another one. Oh, let's put it up again. There you go. That's it. 48 hours. 48 hours. Meanwhile, here in America, there you go. Yeah. That's. There's no way. There's no. We have to change the moral structure of this country. Okay, whatever it is, and for those of you who know the answer, we know the answer. Okay, I don't feel like talking it too much because other channels, other sources can talk about it ad nauseum. I really want to just keep this more infrastructure, at least this channel, right? And we've all talked about it. We know. But anyway, let's look at this. Let's really have a look at this. Look at this. What we used to have before. Look at those clean yards, beautiful people, beautiful city. Look at that. And they're and it's not, look, blood for home and country. Now if you say that, that might be anti shemi shamali wali, whatever this, right? I can't say the word just in case of you. Not that YouTube cares. I mean, we have how many people are watching right now? Thank you for everybody who is watching. There you are. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, we can't say that sort of stuff. Look at that. People giving together, people helping together. Look at that. You had community. That's the other main thing. You had community, and this has been talked about ad nauseum. I know I've mentioned the book Bowling Alone. That's an old book from 1970. But anyway, I'm sorry, the 1980s. Okay, let me see. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see if I can find it. There we are. Perfect. Okay. So what I wanted to show you, here's my grandmother-in-law. Here we are. Practically the entire Muskego Yard office attended a housewarming picnic at the new home of Mary Ann Sweetcheck. It was a real premiere showing of her home, and she deserves to be proud of it. Yeah, so back then you could be working at the railroad. That's what we want in this country. Have our own jobs. Be self-sufficient. Have our own infrastructure, and be able to, even if you're just working an entry-level job, be able to afford the necessities, and even on top of that, have the community that will come in and just everybody have the day off, go over, attend and enjoy the housewarming picnic for Mary Ann Sweetcheck. There you go. Yeah, different time, guys. Different times. It's just a reminder that we're not going to fix anything, and nothing in this country is going to get fixed until we start fixing the people in this country. And what it's going to take, well, is, like I said, just start with yourself, start with your family. We're not going to be able to stop whatever's going to happen. Okay. And I'm sorry for Los Angeles, New York, and DC. Hey, as long as I don't see Indianapolis, Miami, as long as they're not on there. Oh wow. Sorry. I wish you good rock. But anyway, all right, guys. I've had enough talking. Let's bring everybody on here. Let's all talk about this. And if you guys want to bring on anything else, yeah, go ahead. Let me just see the comments YouTube comments just before we get into it, just to see. Sorry for the loss of your dogs, man. I appreciate it. Look, it's sad that dogs can't live a lot longer, but as long as remember, we're there for their whole lives, right? And that's the thing. As long as we take care of them and everything, and they provide joy, they're wonderful animals, and they are by far man's best friend. Go back to horse and carriage instead of cars. Horse and carriage also have problems. Look, we can have all of that. There's still places that have horse and carriage, but let's put it this way: if you have a lot of horse and carriage, that's a lot of horse shite, a lot of it, and that's not a good thing. Somebody mentioned that horses are a lot maintenance and dirtier. Yeah, is this a home or an apartment? The video it looks like a townhome. Just from the look of it, that looks like a townhome. Yeah, pretty terrible. In Texas, horses are still used in normal activities. Yeah, there's still places that use horses. Can you say that cars led to the decline of society? I think the overabundance of cars, definitely. Car culture definitely destroyed America. Not that cars themselves had it, because you look at other countries. And last thing, when I went to Japan back in 2017, and let's be honest, it'd be different if somebody went like 1997 to 2007 or 2007 to 2017. That trip is almost now 8 years. It's been 8 years ago, almost 8 years. It'll be 7 months and 7 years and 9 months at this point, because I went in August, but almost 8 years ago. Not much has changed between now and then. But here's the difference, okay? At least Japan has a workable working society. And I know it was mentioned last week by somebody about Japan's declining population. Okay, again, let's say it goes from 120 million to 80 million. What does that mean? The housing prices go down. The inflation stops and goes down. There's open jobs for people. The wages go up because now as long as the population actually goes down and Japan stays Japanese, not what's starting to happen now that is kind of starting to turn into Canada. That's a problem. And again, I'm really tiptoeing over a lot of these because I'm trying to keep this as infrastructural as possible. Okay, politics and all this, and talking about that sort of stuff. I know we talk about politics; it's important here, but there's so many other channels and stuff. You guys, you can go ahead and watch. I certainly do watch those as well, and I've been watching them for decades. So, yeah, literally decades. So, yeah. Can you say that cars led to decline of society? Like I said, Japan has it, and even then, again, it's important to notice that, because when I went from Japan back to Los Angeles, I'm sorry, not Los Angeles, San Francisco, and then to Fort Lauderdale, it was just kind of a wake up moment, just like, oh shoot, we're never going to be able to catch up at this with the current political system we have, and the current problems in our country. We're never ever going to be able to catch up to Japan or China or any of the other countries that have first-class infrastructure. It's just not going to happen. So everything needs to start changing. But anyway, the freight yards have changed over time. Yeah, it's what it is. All right, guys. Yeah, you guys have been noted. So the YouTube chat has been noticed, witnessed. You've been witnessed. All right. Now we can go over to the audience. I know you guys are going to be all. There we go. All righty. Let's just bring everybody on. I know it's going to be chaos, but enjoy the chaos. Have fun with it, right? You're going to have to. That's all we can do is chaotic out there. Have fun with it, right? There we go. Yay, everybody's on.
Yay.
Hi, everybody.
There we are.
All right.
Welcome.
I got some stuff to talk about.
All righty.
Like
something that's not World War III.
Not World War III, but it up in Vermont and Maine, or technically in Maine to be more exact.
My guy.
It's the trucking companies are right now fighting back, trying to keep a line from being reactivated.
Well,
you know,
they're fighting back because that takes away their business, and then they have to fire drivers, which industry kind of needs it.
Oh, I know. And the thing is that it aligned that in Maine, and reason why they're trying to get it shut down, or like not shut down, but rail bank, or not rail bank, but turned it into a trail to be more exact, is because it will restrict a ton of the customer to trucking.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, it will.
It
definitely will. And they want to make it a trail because then they're going to say, oh, it'll bring bikers to the area. I see plenty of trails in my area, and half of them aren't even used. Nope. It's like, why'd you build this when barely any people ride on it?
Yeah, it's really silly, especially like, why do we even need trails? Why would the concept of having a that's not even a concept in any other country that has biking? I mean, you don't hear about that in the Netherlands or in Belgium or in any sort of bike heavy country.
All their lines. They got a way to use all their lines.
It's nuts.
Branch line service, they're using that line.
You only hear about it here in the U.S. because, let me be honest, a lot of the big trucking companies. But what people don't realize is that trucking got a monopoly here in the U.S. just like it did a long time ago. And if people do their history, and Dimitri, I know you brought it up about Peterbilt back in the 1930s with them, about how they went it like with GM and Ford and Standard Lexus. If you remember, they also bought up a ton of streetcars in interurban.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing. It's like You know, when I hear about all this sort of stuff in Congress and we're talking about the spending bill, that bill is what, at least 3,000, 4,000 pages. Nobody has read it. And we've talked about this so many times about there's no consequences, and all of this, the way this political system is set up is all on purpose to keep this going again. Again, it's a managed mediocre Margaritaville is basically what this whole country has become. It's Margaritaville because it's just keeping to siphon up for the top, and again I know we haven't mentioned boomers too much again this stream, except for the one who's the piece of garbage that's basically selling out our country and our people here. But so to make some cheap houses for the villages, which by the way, that No Kings protest at the villages was I know I have the footage somewhere, but that's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, that's
I know.
That's what this country's being run for right now. So unfortunately, it's just going to take time. But
But here, Jane, what I'm talking about of Maine is that a railroad company do want to reopen the line, and they're trying tooth and nail to try to shut this down and try to turn it into trails.
Yeah,
that's what all companies are going to try and do. Buc-ee's did it. Buc-ee's does it. Everyone does it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like there's one thing to have business as usual, but there's another thing. It's like to a certain extent, when does a business become bad? And that's where having more locally owned franchises helps. Like take for example this beer that I'm having. New Glarus Brewing Spotted Cow, probably some of the best beer here in the United States that's brewed here in the United States. All employee owned, and they only brew it for Wisconsin and within the local area. Like you cannot find it anywhere outside the state of Wisconsin. But again, it's a small local company that has been employee owned, so the employees own it. It's not owned by a whole bunch of New York bankers or whoever else or anything like that. It's owned locally by the people, and they're going to make decisions that are going to be best for the local area. Okay, not all the time, but it's at least the best stopgap possible. That's the best system possible, is thinking more locally.
Oh,
you want to know the truth about locally owned, about being owned by the employees? They still technically they say they own it. It's more of you get stocks in it, and it's your retirement fund.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
is it perfect? No, and I know working at Publix, which is employee owned. That was like my first job for the longest of time. But working at Publix, I mean, they literally had it was part of their company culture to never ever do layoffs, and they never have. The only way you get fired at Publix is if you do something like really bad, like if you fight a customer or something like that, which I've seen somebody do, and they were fired almost immediately on the spot. But that's the thing. It's
whoa! They didn't record it and then sell the rights to that as a pay-per-view.
Oh, it's got to be on. It's probably on World Star somewhere. Hiding around. But yeah.
I'm gonna jump to a little quick transit project.
They actually warned about this at BurgerFi once.
I got a transit topic for you, ARC.
Alrighty, let's hear it.
Rumor has it the Amtrak will start a Velia service in July.
July. What day in July? July. I heard 7th. Okay, I think it was 7th. Yeah. All right. July 7th is a. Hold on.
Don't get your hopes up.
I'm not. Wait, hold on.
Monday.
It's a Monday.
First Monday.
We're doing a stream, guys. Monday is the Avelia stream. We're gonna start putting that down.
Please do not jinx this, okay? Please do not jinx.
We're not jinxing it. We're not jinxing it, but
I heard somewhere that Amtrak wants to start service as soon as possible, and they're saying July 7th.
There we go. All righty, let's hope it's let's hope it. Let's hope so. Yeah. Speaking of car culture, by the way, what I have on here.
About the Avelia service.
Yeah. For anybody who's watching here, this picture that I have on Cincinnati. And I've been down the street over here. It's just terrible what's changed within our country. Look, it's ridiculous. There's no words for it. I mean, just look at the difference between then and now. Again, for progress towards what? Progress towards what?
Progress It's progress towards
same street.
being lazy.
Oh,
Yeah, that's part of it.
Demetria.
All right.
Demetria, I do want to bring it up when I was talking about what is going on in Maine earlier. The only reason I know the trucking company are behind it is because the YouTuber up there, I can't remember his name, who been keeping track of all the rail projects in Vermont, Maine, and Massachusetts. When he was talking, he said if they turned that rail line into a trail, it would be restricted to trucking. Dead giveaway. I can't remember his name. Was it South Coast Productions? If I can remember. But
I don't know, but if you can find it, so everybody else can be able to see it, that would be that would help all of us to just try to remember.
And then it would put truck drivers out of jobs too. That's one thing to think about is that would put some people out of jobs.
Yeah, look, and it's not about taking away it's rebalancing the country to work. Look, Europe has trucking. In fact, they have you can play Euro Truck Simulator, but they also have trains and everything. Now we have the largest freight railroad network, and it'd be nice if that were to be actually working a heck of a lot better than it is right now. But there's just a better way to rebalance this country and be able to ensure that more people have jobs. Because as it stands right now, if I can find, I believe and I know we talked about the real unemployment rate before. Ronell has also brought it up a couple times, but the real unemployment rate is about 25%, and that has not gone down. That's just increased. Let me see. I think it was the Ludwig Institute that's still doing, because it was done by Shadow Stats, and then I think Ludwig Institute for, let me see, economic prosperity. Let me see if I can find it, so I can share it and see exactly where the actual. Yeah, and this is the type of stuff we need to be doing. I think. Look, honestly, I think we're on a good track. At least for our generation, we know what's wrong. Either people are not engaging in the economy, which is perfectly fine. If you want to go ahead and protest and not do anything and be a NEET and you can be able to do it, by all means, go ahead. You if you've done everything right, you got the grades at school, you went to college, you got a degree, and you've tried looking for a job and there's nothing out there, and you feel like, you know what, I'm not going to do shit. I'm just going to, do a minimum wage job and, just kind of get away with it. Maybe look for something else. And I know a lot of you guys are doing that. Look, you're doing as much as you can. You're doing as much as you can. But right now, the true rate of unemployment is 24.2%. That is the actual real unemployment rate.
It's South Rail Videos. The YouTuber is South Rail Videos.
South Rail Videos, got it.
Well, and then video he about it, 23 minutes video, and it's an X Main Central line on the lower road. And what's going on is that they're a new railroad is trying to reactivate the line to bring freight and customers in, and rail bike and tourism. But the state is trying to turn this into a trail, the DOT, which I would not be surprised, and I'm going to bring it up, I would not be surprised if the DOT is being bribed by the trucking companies. I would not be surprised.
I mean, that lobbying is very. That's another thing that needs to stop in this country. Is just any sort of lobbying efforts. And again, no consequences for anybody, and that's why people are kind of just sick of. Look, I kind of really stopped supporting Trump. I mean, I was all aboard on that Trump train back in 2016, but after he said that, the whole point, and I'd say probably even for like the people who I knew were Bernie supporters, like diehard Bernie supporters, and then switched over to voting Trump afterwards, was because Hillary Clinton getting away with everything. And it's not just Hillary Clinton, because Hillary Clinton just represents wayward politicians that can just basically do anything and get away with it, right? And that was the thing. People voted for Trump mainly that there would be consequences for those at the top who did something wrong. And then the minute when people keep saying lock her up, and he said, no, we don't have to do that. That's when it kind of just died down for him. He's like, okay, it's gonna be the same thing over and over again. Maybe the economy gets a little bit better, and it was for a time, and then 2020 happened. So yeah, that's all. But yeah, that's the thing. there seems to be no consequences for somebody at the top, and for even at the local level. That's why I keep hammering on the local level. When you see stuff like this, and I know Darius, you've been wanting to speak, and I know you've made this point too before, Darius. And this is sort of related about the black community not being able to get jobs, which I get it. Look, black, white, whatever, but it seems to be that local people can't even get jobs to build local stuff. So just real quick, and this is about a minute, but I'm not going to play the whole minute. But it's a black guy going through his own neighborhood and seeing, well, this is a local project where black people and local to the area will be living in, and nobody working on the project is from the local area. And
that's what I'm talking about over here. They in the historically majority black.
Mostly people from, Mexico, Central America. It's mostly from there.
Yeah, and this is the problem when we're so adamant about deportations.
H1B is also H1B can also be called Jim Crow 3.0.
H1B is just a terrible thing, and I've seen how absolutely just disastrous that turns into. But
worse than Jim Crow for black people.
I know, Darius, and I've given you the spotlight here a little bit. But again, we're trying to stick to mainly infrastructure. But the point is that even in the local area, and here where I live, here in McCordsville, Indiana, which I would say is probably 90% white. All the crappy area, I've showed it before. All the crappy homes that they're building that are going to fall apart. Where's that video again? That look pretty much like this. And I know I've shown the picture of what one of them looks like. One of the townhomes. It just basically looks like they just tapped together like really crappy drywall, and it was already falling apart. But yeah, nobody local from the area is working there. It's basically foreign contractors. Why? Because where is it? Here we go.
Anybody heard of the Brand Zero program?
Wasting away again in Margarita.
Why? Because this guy would rather pay some and help to bring in people. So engaging or assisting in more or less human trafficking. That's why instead of actually going ahead and doing a whole bunch of paddy wagons at any of these places, make it simple. All you have to do is a couple arrests. You don't have to do a whole bus. You can do just a squad car of arrests. This is the thing we're talking about. There's no consequences for the people at the top, and that's why it has to start in the local area, because you have the never build crap crew at all your local, and you know what they look like, whether they're your city commissioners or your town mayor or whoever else. They're going ahead. Yeah, they're going ahead and like what you mentioned, David, about the rail trail, or not the rail trail, the trail that they're doing over in Maine. Those are the ones who are approving it. Okay, so they're able to get away with it. But God forbid, heaven forbid, you go 5 miles an hour over the speed limit somewhere, and they're going to take you. They're going to take you. They're going to give you a ticket. They're going to demand you come to court within the next month. And I'll guarantee you, they'll have a nice prosecutor on there, nicely dressed up, and he's going to go through a whole list that, well, the officer is trained in using speeding enforcement and blah 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 blah, and he has all the certifications, and they're going to make sure you pay. But not for these guys. Not for
Wasting away again in Margarita.
And the worst part about it is if you actually go to those retirement communities and you go talk to them, you'll realize many of them are old enough to remember the time back when they were really, really young, when you could buy a house off the Sears catalog, have it delivered to your property, and you built the house yourself for less, even after you consider the valuation of the currency and subsequent inflation.
Yeah. Like I said, guys, this is not getting fixed overnight. Even if we have even if the magical gnomes were to come out and fix everything, these guys. Here we go. Oh, I found it. Here we are. These people will happily, and again, it's not all of them. I don't have to keep saying that. I'm going to put like a little disclaimer on there because I know there's going to be 2 or 3 of you saying that. These people will gladly rip it apart to buy another golf cart. Or the politicians will rip it apart to go ahead and send some more missiles to the best friends that will go ahead and shoot us because they're not having a good time. But yeah, it's a mess. It's
Oh,
a mess,
yeah.
a terrible mess.
Yes.
Well,
I'm not surprised that it happening like this, but we've seen it a mile away.
Yeah.
we all
But
knew it was gonna happen.
here,
Like I said, nothing will change. And no, what's the word? No
there's an
change will
easy
be
way
made
of-
unless there are consequences.
Well, there's an easy way to solve two birds with one stone. Because according to the law, in order for a declaration of war to happen, Congress has to pass it before the president can sign off on it. But
Yeah, that
then we
didn't
can
happen the
pull
last
out
time around, though.
Yeah, but that's World War II. But we can take a playbook out of the Roman Republic. All man, you can reset your last time you thought about Rome days. And we can say, all right, you voted for war. You get to go lead the troops on the front line.
Yeah, and that would change things really quick. If we were actually do that. Remember, there was a time when actual kings and princes and dukes would actually go ahead and lead a charge into
God.
battle. Those were the times. Could you
It's
imagine?
Like, oh, you're number 15 in line of succession. Oh, now you get to take these troops and you get to secure the left flank.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't have we don't even have people anymore who've actually experienced like true bloody combat or any sort of like real like true combat like an Andrew Jackson or a George Washington or a Teddy Roosevelt. You don't have those type of people, and it kind of changed after FDR. Or maybe you had Ike.
Ike.
Yeah.
A Bush Senior.
Yeah, maybe. And look, hey, Desert Storm went perfectly for silly reasons. But then again, Saddam was acting a little silly as well. Which, by the way, Saddam did a very big silly with Iran back in the 1980s. A very big silly. And we're about to make the very big silly again if we really do. It did not go well with Saddam, and it's not going to go very well with us. It's not. Iran is not Iraq. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, the problem with Iran is I actually know people from there, and it's like the leadership is basically made themselves very hard to take out. So yeah, you take out the leader, but they have like 30 people in line of succession for each individual department. So,
Exactly.
yeah, you can do that, but they're going to find a replacement for the spot they just vacated, and it's going to go on for a very long time.
What you have to do is you have to remind Iran that they are not the card holders.
They have
Nor
no
are they the
cards.
dealer.
No cards.
America is the dealer and the card holder.
Yeah, but we need to start dealing for ourselves, and I think everybody agrees with that. I mean, all in favor of having nothing to do with that, say aye. Aye. There you go. It's unanimous.
Go on that. We also have to bring out the worst part about it is we had confirmation over the weekend, and you can pull up the chat of the F-14 Tomcat was made extinct in the wild.
I've been seeing that, and I am that's a definite F, man. That is by far and large my favorite jet fighter, and it has nothing to do with top.
Israel
F-14.
took out the last remaining flying airframes of the F-14 Tomcats.
Oh no!
It's now extinct in the wild.
Crazy when you think about it.
You know what we should? You know what? I think
F-14s
I have an
without
idea.
museums.
The military should sell their old jets to the civilians. Make private flying a
well,
whole lot faster.
They kind of do that for certain airframes, but it's not all of them.
Come on, you gotta private flights be a lot faster. Oh, you're in LA in like for 3 seconds.
Yeah, you better not play that song too long. You're gonna get copyright struck for all the
all right, we'll stop it. There you go.
Ejector speed work doesn't blow on you midway through.
You know that we do not own the airspace.
Nope. Wouldn't work.
Yeah, it looks like we have someone new in the audience that might want to join.
Yeah, I've been noticing, but they've so far stayed with their hand down. So you're more than welcome to join in. Anybody in the audience, you're more than welcome to join in. Raise your hand, and we'll bring you in. If you have anything to say, you're more than welcome aboard. Anyway, anybody else that wants to share anything? Because I'm going to pack this in at 9:15. Hopefully, I can be able to catch the second period here. I haven't seen the score. I haven't seen the score, but I hope it's going well so far.
Stuck again.
This is we want the Panthers to win for the USA. Keep Lord Stanley in our good.
Oh shoot, they're winning. It's 2-0. 2-0 and the first.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Nice.
Stanley, yep, almost. If they win, the Stanley Cup is in the USA for another year.
Another year, it will be the Panthers. I used to go to the Panthers games a lot back in elementary school. I got so many tickets because I won so many spelling bees. Go me. But anyway, honestly, of all the games that I've seen football, I've seen basketball, I've seen baseball. After baseball, hockey is definitely the most fun to watch. That's by far the most, especially if you get like front row seats. It's like NASCAR plus pool plus soccer plus every cool sport plus basketball all mixed into one plus football plus UFC. It's all in one. It's really a fun sport to watch.
Yeah, but until they change the rules, so fighting is less common.
Oh no, come on, it's fun. It's fun.
It's less common, but it's still there.
Energy, have you seen the video of the train hitting that truck in Chicago?
Do you have the video? I know I've seen it, but I can't. Let me see if I can find it on X somewhere. It's in the chat.
Yeah, you have to scroll up a bit.
Okay, I'm scrolling up. Let me see. Where is it? I'm not seeing it. Oh, here we go. Our video shows semi pulling away after freight crash. Here we go. Yeah, like I said, even if the gnomes were to build it, this thing is going to our infrastructure is going to fall apart real quick. So, yeah. So, wait, hold on. Here we are. The magical gnomes fix everything, and then this happens.
Dramatic train versus truck crash in LaGrange. This accident Friday afternoon sent the trailer careening into those trees and that metro station. CBS News Chicago found video of the driver pulling.
That's. I mean, look. This was so avoidable. That's the thing. All these the train on car collisions. All avoidable by the driver. Every single one of them.
Video we just obtained.
And they need to make it. The easy way of solving it is to say, if you cause an accident with the train, you are responsible for paying for the damages.
Yeah, and I guarantee you.
Pretty much the answer.
And I guarantee you, this guy who got a CDL is probably not even from here. How much do you want to bet? I mean, I'm gonna say I'm 60% sure that this guy who got the CDL is not even from here or can barely read English, because that's a lot more common.
He got a CDL from the back of a box of cereal.
No, he got a CDL. What he did, he got a CDL from a drug dealer.
That doesn't happen.
No, it's a Modelo cap. It's like the Snapple caps where they have the little trivia. If you open up a bottle of Modelo, it has a CDL in it.
That's probably how they did it.
They had to go to
turn in these bottle caps and you get
you're a male
for free.
Oh, you're
I don't know. I got the CDL and you don't go to.
You're male.
It's all these Uber drivers.
Perfect. Here's a CDL. You fit our description.
Yeah.
You're male and you're fat.
At my burger joint, I get a lot of Uber or DoorDash or Postmates delivery guys who are and you see that their smartphone screens are either Spanish, Portuguese, or Russian.
Yeah, look, and it's not to say, look, this country had, the problem is that this country had a whole lot of people that came over here. I mean, when I went to Milwaukee, I mean, you have the Polish section, you had the German section, you had the Italian section, you had the Czech section, you had, everybody was over there, but I mean, I guess the difference was that everybody at least, everybody at least assimilated.
I had it all in tape that said sealed for your own safety that was provided there.
Yeah.
I had to pack all the drinks in the tape so that not only it'll spill over, but they won't accidentally go and drink it, and then they'll give it to the customer with them drinking it on the way.
Yeah, like looking like at half of these names here of people who work at the Milwaukee Road: Kiggins and Dreykus, Briggs, Steinbaum, Notsky, Nope, Hamilton, Benson. I mean, they're not all WASPs. I mean, there's a whole bunch of Germans. It looks like some Scandinavians there. Germans, Polish.
ARC, feel that sound. The Milwaukee Road.
The Milwaukee Road.
Oh man.
All right.
I love that sound, dude.
Let me see if I can actually. Maybe it's on this the Milwaukee. Let me see if it's on this soundboard. Come on, here we are.
The Milwaukee Road.
There we go. I'm adding that on there.
Best describes the Milwaukee Road. Oh
The
yeah.
Milwaukee Road.
Demetrius.
Come on, one of the best. Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on. Here we go. There we are. We got the right cap on. There we go.
The Milwaukee Road.
All right. By the way, there was a lot of stuff going on in the U.S. lately, especially the No Kings protest.
That's...
Those
That was ironic when you go and look it up and they're like, yeah, we want Obama to be king. And you're like, what? And then you're like, yeah, it was written in 2012.
Yeah, hold on. Here we go.
The irony
I wonder.
By the way, there's one more thing I forgot to tell y'all about in Maine is that the people who are trying to turn it into a trail, they're not winning anyway because a lot of the trucking companies, they're not doing so well up there anyway. And I'm going to bring up that there are more people supporting the reactivation of the rail system coming to the meetings than there is people supporting
reactivation of the rail system as well as manufacturing within. That's another thing we need to do. We really need to bring back manufacturing.
If they bring that rail line back to life, the trucking industry will benefit from it because then they can set up transfer stations to transfer loads onto the trucks to go to its final destination, and then the truck drivers don't have to go that far. Because what really sucks is the truck driver, especially the long distance ones, they have to log their hours from when they wake up to when they go to sleep.
Exactly. They have a schedule.
Oh, not just that, they have to track the number of hours because they can only work a certain amount of hours for work, and then they have to be 10 hours away from the cab.
Yep, have to take their Obama break. But
it's like, please get rid of that. But at the same time, if only if you drive shorter distances than long haul, you don't have to track your hours.
Yeah,
because you are driving shorter distances.
Yeah,
so
and
that would benefit.
And that would make sense. Like we said here before, and here's a local example. I'm sure you guys have local examples too. Here in Indiana, we have a place called Greensburg where Hondas are made. Honda CRVs, Civics, or not Civics, maybe Accords, and I believe Pilots as well. But yeah, you have there you go. You have the Indiana Short Line Railroad. Basically, there you go. If you fix manufacturing, you do more manufacturing, you have more rail lines and you have more trucks. But you put all the long haul stuff on the trains and the short haul stuff on the trucks. There you go. So you can hire local trucks and they don't have to go ahead and be overnight on the roads, causing more damage to the interstates. They can do more in a local area, so they don't have to be away from home every single day. And you have more rail lines and you have a better built infrastructure. But hey, we don't have the gnomes over here that can be able to fix everything all of a sudden. But it's just what it is.
Hi ho, it's off to work we go.
Building stuff locally and dealing with everything locally. Who do you think we are? The Amish?
No,
that's what we need.
Everybody wishes.
Yeah. We kind of have to adopt that sort of mindset if we have more of like a localized mindset. Now we don't have to to take away electricity and God forbid we don't have
the N-word. You know what the N-word is? It's no. It's the nuclear word.
Nuclear energy. There you are.
Legalize nuclear. It will come.
Yeah, if we had nuclear energy, look again. But even if these guys were to fix it, I mean, look, South Africa, their nuclear plants are failing because nobody knows how to fix it. All the people who knew how to fix it are leaving because they're getting killed or murdered or genocided. So they're basically
you got it wrong.
Nice,
They're not leaving. They've already
nice
left.
job, South
or have
Africa.
left. Yeah.
Round of applause. Nice job, South Africa. You're really screwing yourself over.
Yeah. That's the thing. That this country is going to turn into. Look, South Africa is not going to get fixed. Brazil is, hey, Brazil, honestly, at this point is, look, if everything happens here, I don't see, funny enough, I don't see anywhere Brazil is anywhere on this list over here. So Brazil's not going to get blown up. So Brazil may be doing better than the United States.
Brazil's doing the opposite. They're cutting
let's
down
look
the
at that list.
Amazon.
Let's look at the list.
There you are. So global.
All right, we got Liechtenstein is good. We got Andorra's good. We got San Marino. We got Monaco. We got the Vatican. All right, all the city-states are looking good. No Singapore. All right, all the city-states are indeed good.
There you go.
Just go to a city-state.
Hey, don't forget, when you talk about Brazil, Brazil's cutting down the Amazon forest.
Yeah, that's it. Look at this. Look, Brazil's such a massive country. I mean, if they could just, it's just so.
That's from what I've heard, they're cutting the rainforest because of a UN summit of climate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
how ironic.
I remember talking about this in like a 9th grade history class. They're cutting it down because they don't want to build up. They want to build out for farmland and agriculture.
Look, it all comes down to a balance. By all means, I mean, we should be reforesting in this country again. The suburbs need to shrink. The cities need to grow. The people who don't belong here need to go back. The people who've been here and live here need to have jobs again, need to have homes, need to be able to have an actual working economy.
I've been out of a job for I've been searching for jobs for over a year here. Couple interviews, but nothing so far. And I got 2 jobs back in I got 1 job at a grocery store in 2019 and a department store in 2021.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I know exactly that feeling. I know how it is. But yeah, you Star Force wouldn't be considered unemployed because you've been out of the workforce technically or you were underemployed for a bit. So that's why this is why this headline is so wrong that it's only 4.2% unemployment. No, it's when you actually really rate it, it's 24.2%, and probably among youth anywhere between the ages of let's say 16 to 40. Right. Let's just push that a little bit more. It's probably even higher. It's probably like Spain's youth unemployment rate is like 30-40%. It's probably similar here in the United States.
Hey, Star Force, do you want to work in the labor force, or do you want to stick to customer service and retail?
Honestly, I'll take anything at this point.
Construction companies are always
good answer.
hiring.
I know I'm doing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like I say, guys, it's tough out there, but
my work at Verify is, even though I still continue customer service, I'm starting to get the boredom of working there all the time for years.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get it. It's.
Do you see? I've had that before. The boredom of working somewhere. And that's the
you're not really doing what you enjoy doing and what you're capable.
Yeah. You can if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Do something that you want to do. Do something that you feel like you want to do. Don't let anything hold you back. Do it.
Yeah. And it's sad because this is something that this country did have before. That people felt good about where they worked at, and even if they didn't, maybe they wanted to do something else, but at least the job was fulfilling enough, and fulfilling not just in a physical sense, but also fulfilling economically, that they could go ahead and buy a home, if they wanted to, stay in there and have a community and all that sort of stuff, like we saw here on the
Milwaukee Road.
Yeah, there you go, on the Milwaukee Road magazine. We had this in this country. We had it. We had it.
Yeah, every town the Milwaukee Road went to, they built homes for their workers, and then it grew from there.
Yeah. For the workers, for this country, for everything that we need to fix this up. And that's again the whole point of this stream. And this is a really good stream, guys. And we talked about a lot of great topics over here. This is the type of stuff that we need to be when it comes to this channel, because I know everybody online wants to talk about, we want to do this and all that, but it's like we have to talk about the real stuff too. And that's why I said let's get involved locally. Let's start really hammering down and saying, go to a meeting. It's like, ask like who if they're going to be building, and that's what I'm going to start doing over here when they're going to start building homes or whatever, taking down farms and building homes. It's like, okay, great. Who are you hiring? Or what is this contractor going to contract out, because that's what they do. Who are they going to hire? Are they going to hire local? Is that what they're going to do? How much are these homes going to be? Is it going to be something for somebody who just graduated to be able to afford and live here? Ask the questions, and I know what the answer is going to be, because this is what they're going to do all the time. It's going to be it's going to be that answer.
Contract other companies to do their work, because they just they design the home, but they don't build it.
Yeah.
Guys, I got the news. I got it into the live chat.
Yeah, I put some news down there too.
All right. Last couple things. Look at that. Look, this new construction. The wood's already rotting. It's already rotting. They haven't even built it. They didn't even do the lamination correctly. Anything, like nothing. Look at that. The electrical work. I found here. Luckily, I'm just renting. And these homes were built in like the last year, but there was sawdust. They even just left us. They didn't even bother to clean the sawdust off the electrical hole that they put in for the installation of the microwave. It's just so absolutely flippin' lazy and just it's sick. It really is. Look at it. The faucet's already leaking.
Here's how I say about that.
The house.
I'm made in America, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of contractors they hired?
It's man. Anyway, okay, guys. What's the news, and we'll end on this. We'll end on this here. Good note.
Speaking about news, Brightline got a partnership with JetBlue. I think you heard about that before.
Yeah, that I've heard about. Which is that's you can do that if instead of airline companies like a certain person from a certain American Airlines, Bob Crandall, going ahead and spending millions of his own. What a silly. What a very silly waste of money. He wasted it. Total loser. He wasted millions of dollars, and there it is. There's the train. What a loser. Anyway, after all of that, there's Brightline. So yeah, instead you could have been working like JetBlue and having people who come in here or to the state be able to have discounts. They come into Orlando, they come into Miami, and have a discount ticket on a train to go and take a trip over from Orlando to Miami or wherever else it is. It's simple. So simple.
Here's the thing, Demetrius. The big carriers, the three big airlines, usually had hatred for JetBlue. They tried to screw over them, but instead they got screwed over by JetBlue, which is so big.
Yeah, and I flew on I flew on JetBlue before. It's actually a pleasant airline, I will say. A more pleasant experience. Fly Right, Explore, JetBlue, and Brightline launch partnership offering more travel connections across Florida. There you go. The first intermodal agreement for JetBlue. Brightline's high-speed rail service will enhance connectivity and convenience for customers traveling combined itineraries. There you go. That's something.
I won't trust the Boeing plane. I don't trust the
Victory,
Boeing
guys.
plane.
Enjoy the little victories.
I don't trust Boeing plane. You'll hear from me, and I'll say it again. I don't trust Boeing.
I don't know
Especially if you're Air India, you don't want to trust Boeing. Oh man, yeah, that was oh man, yeah.
I was gonna be like, wait, didn't one of their planes just crash like not too long ago?
Wait, in India? I think I heard about that.
Yeah, the Air India one. It was like
Yeah,
100 and something people died. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Only
know what's going on
one
with those
person
planes.
survived.
One survivor. There was one survivor. It was one.
Was it Bruce
survivor.
Willis?
Knows.
Dude, I'd have PTSD if I was the only survivor. Petrified if I was the only survivor of a plane crash.
I would not believe
that's
it.
more survivor's guilt than PTSD, but
You had to
similar.
sit in the right seat to survive. I don't know how
I
that's
mean,
gonna happen.
hey, he's going to be cashing out a lot. He'll
Millions.
be able to buy up a whole block in Mumbai at that rate.
He'll sue. I hope he sues
Half the
Boeing
neighborhood he'll be able to buy up with what he's going to make out. But anyway,
Well, with that much luck, he needs to immediately leave the hospital right now and go to the closest convenience store to buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah,
because
there
he's
you go.
probably gonna win.
Yeah.
You gotta test the lookout somehow.
Okay. Alrighty, guys. This is a good way to end it. Yeah. Look, Brightline is working because it's a local company doing a local thing, and that's what works. Yeah. Think local, do local. That's how we're gonna end it.
We
Yeah.
talked about this one article before we get done.
All right, David. Last article, and then I want to watch the hockey. I want to watch the hockey. Alrighty.
You can watch the highlights afterwards.
No, I want to watch it. If they're gonna win, I want to experience it. Let me enjoy it. It's technically not sports ball. It's a puck, so it's not sports ball. So there you go. Anyway, Santa Maria, California, June 12, 2025. Omnitrax, the Broad Group's infrastructure affiliate and one of North America's fastest growing privately held management companies, has begun operations of Santa Maria Valley Railroad. There you go. The 29th rail operation in the Omnitrax National Rail Network. Hey, there you go. Okay, so yeah, things are growing. Yeah, look, rail is growing. We've said that before. Or GE or one of the GE companies that was spun off. Now I forget the name of it. They're booked with orders out until next year for locomotive power, like all the way out to next year, because there's such an influx now of companies wanting to buy new equipment. So yeah, look, that's going to be the future. Rail is not leaving this country. It built this country and it's staying here, and we need to rebuild. I don't know if anytime soon the gnomes will be coming out tonight. You can wish upon a star and hope they come out and build the infrastructure. But then again, what is the point if our country is not at all fit to build, maintain, and run the infrastructure? Because at this point,
we have a better idea. Have the gnomes go after all the bad politicians.
anyway, one can only hope, right? One can just only hope.
Give them the baseball bats. Let them do their job.
There we go. Alrighty, guys. That's it for the day. We're going to end it there. Thank you all for coming on board. We will see you all next time. Take care and Godspeed. See you all next time.
Good night.